y'all, Stephanie and Lucy here with Minimalist Mom Life. Welcome back to my channel. This is my second time recording this video. She woke up for the last one, so she is just going to be in it. So everybody say hi to Lucy if you're new to my channel. She is my fourth baby, my only little girl. So I have for you today a requested video on kind of my tips on hosting, having people in your home when you have small children, how to still practice hospitality when you kind of have your hands. So before any more kids wake up or I get any more interruptions, I am going to get right to my 5 tips. My number 1 tip is pick a good time. And this means not only a good time for your kids, but a good time for your husband. Be careful when you're practicing hospitality for other people that you're still practicing it for those that are in your home. You know, you want the people that come into your home to feel loved, to feel welcome, to feel cared about. And you want the same for the people that live in your home. So make sure that you are picking a good time. So you're not picking a time that's nap time. You're not making a dinner party so late that it's right at your kid's bedtime. And that you're picking a good day. My husband is an introvert. And so for him, after a day full of work and talking to people, hosting people in our home on a work night is not nearly as fun or as good of a time for him. We still do it some, as it is if we do it like on a Saturday night when he's had kind of a day of rest, or on Sunday. So keep those things in mind when you're picking a time that is good for your family. And don't do it too often as well, like simplicity with everything. So for us, we try to host a different family in our home every single week. We're offering our home, opening it up to somebody. Sometimes that doesn't work out with someone's schedule that we had picked for that week, but we're trying to get to know people and love people. So that's one night in a week, not 4 nights a week, not 5 nights a week. We don't do it on a night of the week that we have had. You know, if the week has been crazy, then we're not going to host that week. So make sure you're picking a good time for you and for your family. Number 2 is give your kids a pep talk. So I've talked about this before with my grocery shopping with kids as well. But by a pep talk, I'm talking like remind them of the rules. Remind them that you know they're good children. You know they know how to behave. And then what are the rules? What are the rules when we have people over? We're always stressing to our kids that when you have, like, if other children are coming over, that if they want to play with your toys, even if you had it first, you're going to give it to them because we're considering others above ourselves. So teaching them how to be hospitable, reminding them of the rules, and some of the rules may be different when you have other people over than it is just with them playing with, you know, their other brother or something like that. So reminding them of the rules. And my 3rd tip goes along with that, and that is during this pep talk, remind them of everybody's names. So if they're very familiar with who's coming over, just tell them who's coming over that night. If they're not, practice those names throughout the day. So it'll be like George, you know, Martin Elliott, Mr. Brian and Miss Kathy are coming over. We'll tell them that in the morning. And then at lunchtime, hey George, do you remember who's coming over? And he gets one name right. Good job. Do you remember Mr. Brian's wife's name, or whatever it is? Or if they know the kids that are coming over, but they don't know the mom and dad, teach them how you would like to address those people before those people are in your home. So if you want to call them Mrs. Jones, or if they're allowed to just call her Miss Lisa, like whatever it is, familiarizing your kids with who it is that's coming over. That'll help them be more comfortable when the people do come over, as opposed to being super shy or just like freaked out by it or whatever, because they already know the name. This is a familiar person to them. If you know something about this person, like, oh, they have a doggy, you know, something you know your kids would be interested in, then giving them that in the pep talk as well. Also, back on the pep talk one, is letting them know kind of what to expect of the evening. So I try to keep it normal. I don't pretend to be perfect. Don't pretend that you have something that you don't. So if we pray before we eat, then we pray before we eat when we have other people over. If we don't get up from our table until whatever's done, then we're not going to get up from the table. If mommy gets her plate first, then mommy gets her plate first. Or if mommy serves the plates, mommy's still going to serve the plates when we have other people over. Keeping things normal, but also pep talking them through kind of the plan for the evening. Because normally when you have people over for supper especially, they're going to sit and you guys are going to chat and converse and get to know each other. But for your kids, usually when the meal is over and those people aren't there, they can get up and go play. So reminding them, hey, yeah, when you've eaten all your food, these are the things that mommy's going to let you go do right afterwards. And that might be with other kids. So you have kind of Play-Doh or an activity plan for them to do with the other children that are coming. Or it may be simply there's no other kids coming, so you may go play in your room, or you may bring some blocks out here. My kids have a thing with, like, they have a few stuffed animals, and they treat them like they're actual pets. And so when people come over, they love to introduce their stuffed animals to whoever we're having dinner with. And so we let them know they're allowed to do that after the meal is over. When dessert comes out, they can do that. So things like that, giving them a good heads up of kind of what you expect of them and how the evening is going to go, so there's not a lot of surprises for them either. And honestly, I think this makes your guests feel more comfortable too, because you're not putting on a production for them. You're inviting them to be a member of the family. And then number 4 is serve normal food. And this goes again with having kind of the normal routine of your evening. It's okay to have a few things change up. Of course, we want to be super hospitable, but we don't want to, again, try to be perfect and change our lives so much that the people aren't getting to know us. They're getting to know the Stephanie when she's hosting version of Stephanie as opposed to the real Stephanie. So serve normal food. You don't have to have the most amazing 10-course dinner if you don't normally have a 10-course dinner, you know. Serve things that you know your family is going to enjoy, that you know your kids are going to enjoy, and limit the amount of new foods that you're trying to get your kids to eat on a night when you're also having people over and they may feel pressure from that or anything like that. And then my number 5 tip is don't pretend to be perfect. I think I've already said this a lot during this little talk. But seriously, don't pretend to be perfect. You're not inviting people to your home because you think they're perfect, and they're not coming because they think you're perfect. So avoid the whole everything has to be just right in order to host, or I don't have a nice enough couch, or I don't have enough room, or I don't cook well enough, or whatever it is. Forget it. Like, you are who you are. Let people get to know you the way you are and love them the way they are. Give yourself grace. Give them grace. Do not have your house cleaner for guests than you would for your husband. I mean, make sure I said this earlier, but make sure that you are showing hospitality to your family at the same time you're showing it to other people. So don't be all of a sudden super crazy bossy mom that doesn't like anything about her house and is griping to her husband that nothing that he's given her is good enough, or that her kids aren't clean enough, or whatever, right before you have people over. Love the people you live with and love the people that you allow to come into your home. And I'm going to end this with a couple of quotes I have that just go along a lot with my heart for hospitality, and I hope they encourage you as well. So the first one is from Shauna Nyquist, and it says, "True hospitality is when people leave feeling better about themselves and not better about you." I think that's like cool. I feel like that could be like my whole video and like just drop the mic. I'm done. Good job, Shauna. This one is from The Reluctant Entertainer, and it says, "Hospitality is simply love in action. It has much more to do with the resources of a generous heart than with the sufficiency of food or space." So I encourage y'all to practice hospitality during this Christmas season and all year long. And if you have tips or things that you do when you get your home ready to have people in it and the ways to prepare your kids, leave them in the comments down below. That's right, Lucy. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.